So the film that we're here to talk about today is Horrible Bosses, directed by Seth Gordon. Let's actually watch a trailer of it and then we can talk about it. With an all-star cast, Horrible Bosses stars Jason Bateman, Charlie Day, and Jason Sudeikis as three friends who have horrible bosses but can't leave their jobs.
What do you mean by trim the fat?
I want you to fire the fat people. They're lazy and they're slow and they make me sad to look at. You can start with large margin.
When the torture of their daily routines becomes unbearable, they hatch a plan to get rid of their sinister supervisors.
Okay, so let's do this.
We gotta hire a professional.
But after hiring a slightly crazed murder consultant played by Jamie Foxx, everything that can go wrong does. Horrible Bosses shows us that the best way to get rid of your boss is to let them get rid of themselves. Now, the movie is Horrible Bosses. We've all just seen it. Let's actually talk about the story. James, you want to take it away?
What I'm waiting for is someone to come out and just finish the evil wish fulfillment trilogy, because we had Bad Teacher, and now we have Horrible Bosses. But for me, this movie isn't dark enough. It doesn't go to those really, really evil places that I think it needs to go.
I thought it was pretty horrible. I mean, Colin Farrell brings in whores. He fires the handicap guy and then takes his placard.
Yeah, that was horrible, but I feel like they really should have taken it really, really extreme.
The structure of the film throughout the first half is pretty strong. I think it's set up well. I sort of like that these guys want to kill their bosses, but they're not entirely sure if they ever really want to do it. Where it starts to unravel is after the midpoint. It kind of loses its way, and also the third act just kind of falls apart.
What?
What's the midpoint? But if there's a third act, there has to be a second act, right? Because there isn't one.
I think there is until the midpoint.
How are we supposed to fake 3 accidents?
When you stalk your prey, you gotta be smart. Find out where they live, find out their habits, what's their hobbies, what they like, what type of food they like. Even if you pull it off perfectly. If you crackers got motives, the po-po, that means police, will still pin it to you.
Yes, I agree with you that there is something to the existential doubt of should they or should they not kill him. That's fine. But if you're gonna go to that deep, dark place, there's horrible bosses and there's I want to kill my bastard asshole boss. That's a completely different thing. And so in order for that to happen, these characters have to bottom out. And none of them actually end up bottoming out to the point where it's credible. Charlie Day. Yes, I get that. The sex offender thing, and the blackmail photos, I understand that. The other two, we've all had crap bosses. You suck it up and deal.
The first half of the film, I think that they do a great job of setting up the plausibility of guys sitting around and kind of thinking about it, maybe we could. And I think that the writing does a really good job of making it actually plausible, that average Joes could go through with something like this.
And everyone thinks about it.
And everyone thinks about it. And I think where the problem falls down in the story is I think the writer wasn't clear about what kind of comedy he wanted to tell. This film does not know how to do dark comedy. The setup was accurate. It was paint by numbers, though.
Ultimately, the biggest problem with this movie is just not funny enough. The writing has a certain degree of wit, but it's not enough, and the dialogue isn't as snappy as we'd like it to be, and the banter between the central characters is just not enough.
How did the cast work for you guys?
Part of the problems with the casting is you have these 3 actors who are all great. Jason Bateman, Jason Sudeikis, and Charlie Day. I think they're all fantastic. Jason Bateman makes great strides as a straight man, right? Charlie Day is a bit unhinged and kind of strange, but then Jason Sudeikis does the exact same thing as Jason Bateman.
The one thing that is redeeming about this film is the performances. Right. I think that when you look up and there's no surprise here. You see a movie that's got Jason Bateman, Jason Sudeikis, Charlie Day, Kevin Spacey, Colin Farrell with a fabulous comb over, and Jennifer Aniston, Jamie Foxx. When you see that and you see the advertising campaign, you think, okay, hilarity is going to ensue. The problem with Jason Sudeikis' characters, I don't feel like it was. This goes back to the writing. They weren't clear about how he is different from the Charlie Day and the Jason Bateman character. So you get this guy who is just kind of ambling, good-natured, and then he turns into this horn dog, and that left turn is just, whoa.
So speaking about the performances, let's actually talk about the director, Seth Gordon. He came out of documentary, directed King of Kong, Freakonomics, and then went on to direct feature film that was pretty horrific.
4 Christmases.
Yes, thank you. How did you guys feel like he handled this film?
Yeah.
It's better than 4 Christmases, that's for damn sure.
That's not saying much.
Yeah.
This is a guy who comes from a lot of experience in situation comedies also. And he has a sensibility and was able to maintain a consistent tone throughout the film. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, he was not able to direct the full 3-act film and to give us some depth. And that's not necessarily entirely him. That goes back to script.
Or I think we should actually take it to a vote.
Well, despite some of the shortcomings of the film, I actually did laugh out loud at certain points.
Yeah.
And, I feel like this movie can be a great way to waste my time on a Saturday night if I'm not going out. So, I will say stream it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's worth seeking out in the theaters, but I think the cast is really great, and it's just a really funny group of people, so I say stream it.
I think it's fine as ambient television, but other than that, it's just not worth the effort. So I think that makes it, I don't know, stream it.
I can't really, in good conscience, have people go to the movies and shell out some dough to see it. I think I think Horrible Bosses is a great day at your home office. So with that, I'm going to say stream it.
So that is 4 half tickets for Horrible Bosses, which is a stream it. So with that, we're just gonna have to cheer and watch it on Netflix. Boom.
Cheers.
Cheers.